cabaret.
Hi, I'm Linda Mena, and I'm here for Cabaret Scenes, the inaugural website edition, and I have the marvelous, ubiquitous Marilyn Maye.
Whatever that means.
Do you know what that means? It means you're everywhere.
Thank you.
These days, Marilyn, you are everywhere.
We hope so. We try to be.
Well, listen, it's about time, number one, and number two, you're handling it so beautifully, gracefully, and with such aplomb. It's been a thrill to watch you for these last 7 years, I think. You came into the Metropolitan Room, and I'll never forget it, because I was reviewing for Cabaret Scenes at that time, the next show, and this throng of people came rushing out of the room. I couldn't imagine what had happened. Who is it? I said, who is that? And they said, why, it was really out of a movie. It's Marilyn Maye. Donald Smith had his cane at that point, and I said, Donald,
bless his heart,
who is this woman? You don't know, he said. Marilyn Maye. So I made it a point to get to the next show. Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
Welcome to Cabaret Scenes.
Cabaret Scenes.
And our new website.
Thrilled and grateful to Cabaret Scenes. They did a long interview, probably 6 years ago, I think, a feature which I was thrilled. Elizabeth Alfors did it.
Yes,
and, Alsfor. And
Alfors.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Alfors, I think. Alfors.
Well,
Elizabeth. Yes.
And I was thrilled to be interviewed by Elizabeth. I'm grateful because they keep track of all the entertainers and all the reviews and all the information about us. That's a wonderful thing.
Wasn't Rex Reed there that night as well?
Well, that was the opening night. Yeah. That was the first. That was the very first night.
And that was the night I was there.
Yeah, the very first night.
Again, I'll just never forget it. And your review was over the top, and that really started this whole.
Well, Rex had reviewed me many years ago in various places. One in particular, a club that is now closed here in New York, Michael's Pub. And we had met several times. I was shocked that night because we had done the Mabel Mercer convention the year before in 2005. And my pianist, Billy Stritch, was working with me in the Middle West and all up and down in California, various places all over the country, not in New York. I had not been in New York for 16 years.
Yeah.
And but not retired. I was working.
You were working, of course.
And Billy said, there's a new room that opened in 2006 after I had done that convention. Jerry Herman was at that convention. And I've done Dolly and Mame and his shows. So not on Broadway, but in various lovely theaters around the country. So when Billy said this new room opened in 2006, I think it would be a great room for you. There really wasn't any place right for me to work in New York until that time, or at least I felt that way.
Yeah.
So we came, and I thought there'd be 6 people there, and they were lined down the block.
They were packed, and they were lined up down the street.
It was fun.
And from that time on, the reviews just kept coming in. And
we just kept working. We kept working. When you say I'm still, I always say I'm singing, even though I do a lot of ballads, I'm really singing as fast as I can.
Well, the energy, the stamina, the enthusiasm that you bring to the stage, and not everyone has access to Bob Mackie, but you always look like $1 million.
I think it's part of your job.
Yeah.
I think the wardrobe, the makeup, it's all part of the presentation to the audience. I don't think they come to see people in street clothes.
Well,
I think they want
gasps.
some fun.
Yeah. There are just gasps of, wow.
Well, I haven't always had Bob, I must say. We became good friends, and he's so special in the designing way and in the personal way. He's a very special man. So
everything that he has designed for you has just been spot on. And I guess that's the philosophy you're speaking about is old school.
It is old
I mean,
school.
it's what I understand as old school. Is it what you understand as
Oh,
old school?
absolutely, and I think it's the only way.
The only way. The
I
only
think
school.
it should be the new school too, but we're trying very hard to make it that way.
Yeah, yeah, and it is a struggle.
I'm preaching.
Isn't it?
I'm preaching what I practice.
Yeah.
I do. And these days we're coaching people, and I preach the same values that I think the audience deserves.
Right. Well, I know you always say that you don't play golf and you don't play cards. You're not a bridge player. This is what you do.
Well, I think people, I'm finding so many people just sing as a hobby, I always say people don't do other things if they decide to sing, not necessarily as a business, but as a hobby. Thank God this is all I've ever done all my life. I've made my living doing this and never stopped working. It's always been what I love doing. It's my passion.
Yeah.
And it's what I've learned to do through the years, for so many years.
Of course, that comes through on the stage. The other thing that I think all the reviewers have found so extraordinary, truly, and Will Friedwald probably put it best when he said, this lady swings, she has the chops of a Broadway belter, yet the intimate connection with the cabarets. I'm just curious, where are you the most comfortable?
I don't treat any venue differently.
I didn't think so.
The nightclub is one, you can have 120, 140 people there, or you can work the big theaters. And somebody said to me recently, because I work to the audience, not for them. I work, there's no fourth wall for me. I want to include that audience in the performance. I don't sing for myself, I sing for them. That's my job. And when you're in a theater, somebody said, well, how can you say to look in the people's eyes and sing to them and sing directly to their faces? And they said, but in a theater everything is dark. And I said, so it's called pretend? You pretend that you're looking in their faces.
Well, I know you found this true in your master classes, because I've been there when there have been some Broadway people, and they do have that tendency to look straight.
Well, that's their training.
The
there has to be a fourth wall with Broadway.
Yeah.
They're within a character.
And so they're terrified when they have to.
I love the honesty of working a nightclub. I think the performer has to be honest. They have to be themselves. There's no persona, no character that I think they should take on. I think they should be themselves. I think they should be honest, because I think the audience gets that.
Yeah,
they get it when you really love what you do and you love sending it out to them, and I love that. It's my job that they have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
They come in, they're supposed to have a good time, they're supposed to forget the problems of the day, and that's my duty, to make them have an hour of what. All the time people say, I came in so depressed. I came in, I wasn't even going to come tonight. I just thought, and then I thought, no, I guess I've made my reservation, I'll come. And then they say I'm leaving happy, and I said that's what I'm supposed to do.
I do know. I'm thinking of a couple of quotes as you're talking. Nancy Lamotte, who called Cabaret a refuge, and it really, when it's a good performer
for the audience,
for the audience, it
and
can
for
be.
the performer too.
Forget your troubles, come on, get happy, and come
That's
to the
right.
cabaret.
That's right.
The other thought that I had as you were speaking was Lainey Kazan, who said the most interesting thing about you is you. And I think we, as performers, we get caught up in whatever it is we get caught up ourselves.
Right.
Let's face it, we get caught up with ourselves, and we can't quite sometimes can't get beyond that. Once you do, that's when the fun begins.
I think people are afraid to bear themselves, and
be vulnerable.
And actually, the vulnerability is important.
Yeah.
We just got through doing the Carson show, and I really never talked about me so much as I did this time, because it's me on the Carson show doing some of the shows. We showed clips, and I had a very good time talking about me. I don't approve of that. I think but this time I really had a good time telling my story,
Well,
and they did enjoy it, you know.
deserves
so
to
it's
be
nice, yeah.
told. It's a spectacular story when you really think that you started so young back in Topeka, Kansas.
Never done anything but this.
To
I've been blessed.
Wichita, you had a mother who was not a Mama Rose, but she was very encouraging and very.
right.
I wonder what she'd think
She played piano.
about your success now at this stage in your life. I wonder.
She always used to say to me, "Don't you let me down."
Did she ever
So
say?
I hope I'm not letting her down.
No, you're definitely not letting her down. But I do wonder if she, you know, coping with all these accolades. I know you pretty well,
She
Marilyn.
might not like this very much. She might not. I do have a cousin, Joy Hodges, who was in the business, and she would love it. She
would really be
gone now,
getting a
but,
kick
oh
out of
boy,
this.
she
Yeah.
would be thrilled.
Yeah.
She would be thrilled. She was a star with Universal
A beauty.
Studios.
I happened to see her. You know, we can
Gorgeous.
look up everything there is to look up about
Joy
you.
Hodges was her
Joy
name.
Hodges, yeah.
And she starred in I'd Rather Be Right. She was the ingenue lead in I'd Rather Be Right with George M. Cohan. And then her last Broadway show was replacing Ruby Keeler in...
Wow, that's really,
what
it's a
was that
major
show?
career. Yeah, I know the one you mean. I
When
can't
Anything
think
Goes.
of it
I was
right
trying to say
now.
Anything Goes.
Well, do you feel there's anything that you really, on your bucket list, that you really would
Wanna
still love to do?
I keep
I know
saying
Broadway.
I want to travel some more, and yet the good news is we're getting so many requests to appear places that
I
I
checked
don't
your
have
schedule
I
out.
don't have time to travel.
No.
It scares me to book next April, but we have of April of 2015, and we just got an inquiry about the fall of 2015. I hope I'm still here to do those
You'll be here.
engagements.
You'll be here.
And
You'll still be
singing.
here.
We hope so.
And you keep singing that song and all the
Good
other
times and
wonderful
bum
songs.
times.
You've been there, and
That's
you're
right.
here. So thank you. Thank you, Marilyn.
and love
Just
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you.